Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am oh sorts of excited. That's 3 in a row, baby. Jets capture victory in Lambeau Field. Cheeseheads go down. Aaron Rodgers has himself a little bit of a hard day. And I absolutely love it. Jets get 4 sacks on the Hall of Fame quarterback. 3-0 on the road. Quinnen Williams has a monster game. This guy has had an incredible season so far. Absolutely stellar performance by him all the way around. Winds up getting himself a blocked field goal. I could go on and on. On and on. Boys and girls, we're going to do this the same way we do it every week. We are going to do my thoughts till 8:30. And then we will go to the phones and I will hear your thoughts. You get 3 minutes on the clock, but after 3 minutes...
That's it! You're out of here!
That's right. You get tossed. Bounced. Gonna have a lot of call-ins. I can feel it tonight. This fan base is passionate. This fan base is energized. I couldn't have been the only one jumping up and down, going bananas in my living room. It's nice. Good all the way around. All right. Got a whole lot we could talk about. A little bit of maybe Elijah Moore drama I think you guys are a little fired up about. I think the win, very, very exciting. Want to get all your thoughts on that. We can talk about anything. Well, let's go through the position groups. Let's start with the special teams. Special teams this past game, incredible. We had a blocked field goal. We had a blocked punt, return for a touchdown. You know, still some issues on our own side because we wind up having our own punt blocked and we miss a field goal. So not 100% perfect, but definitely better all the way around. Like missing a 53-yard field goal in a rainy day in Lambeau. You don't want to see it, of course, but it really wasn't crazy far off. I don't have any sort of wavering confidence in Zerline or anything like that. Braden Mann had a monster game punting the ball. Braxton Berrios returning kicks. This guy is stellar at making guys miss. On the domination side of our special teams, where we blocked that punt, Michael Clemens. Talk about the rookies having an impact. Michael Clemens, later round pick, coming in. Oh, he was the one that I thought got the block on the field goal. It turns out it was Quinnen Williams. But he gets the block on the punt. He said, "No, Quinnen, you're not going to be the only one blocking kicks today. Watch this, I'll one-up you. Not only did you prevent 3 points, I'm going to get us to score 7. Intense. Michael Clemens is camping. Oh, man. All right, then we get over to the defensive side. The secondary. Joyner coming up with a fumble recovery. You got Sauce locking down Lazard all day. Reed on the other side playing well. You did have Whitehead with a late hit penalty or a defenseless receiver hit penalty on the same play that Sauce actually had a holding or pass interference penalty. Wound up declining Sauce's, accepting the Whitehead penalty. But either way, secondary had a really, really great day. It started off, oh man, they were testing Sauce. 2 straight throws his direction. And I'm thinking, oh man, Aaron Rodgers, he's like, I'm going to put you in your place. Rookie, 4th overall pick. I'll show you. And then the ball pops in the air, and I'm like, oh man, Sauce is going to score a touchdown. It's a pick 6. Dude had a safety last week. Dude gets pick 6 this week. No friggin' way. Unfortunately, ball winds up hitting the ground. But still, overall, really, really great performance by Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. The recovery speed of our corners. My concern going into this stretch of games was how would the corners handle the speed? We saw them handle Waddle and Tyreek. I am not afraid of our corners going up against any other tandem in the NFL. I think we will absolutely be favorites against other teams opposing wide receivers, regardless of how the overall game kind of plays out or who's favored in the spread. Linebackers, not too shabby. Really not bad. I thought Mosley had himself a halfway decent game. Quincy, coming back after the injury, pops people. This guy is a heat-seeking missile. Pretty sure he's going into the last year of his, or he is in the last year of his contract. Would like to see us bring him back. Semi-quiet day for Quan. I feel like I heard Quan's name twice all game. But the linebacker core, holding its own. Not upset. Very much okay. I see Duncan in the chat says Mosley is a top 5 in tackles in the NFL. I love it. Love it. Didn't know that. And then the defensive line. We get Vinny Curry back. Unfortunately, Jermaine Johnson misses the game. But Quinnen and Rankins and John Franklin Myers and Huff and Lawson, these guys pinned their ears back. Jacob Martin had some pressure on Rodgers. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is the defensive line we were hoping to see last year, and you're seeing Quinnen Williams just bud right in front of us. He is blossoming into one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL, and it's going to absolutely go a long way for the Jets' success this season. If you can push that pocket straight back into the quarterback, that will send red flags going like crazy for the quarterback, and he's going to try and make some really quick decisions, which will lead into some interceptions, some incompletions, all sorts of good stuff. The thing I liked about the defensive line yesterday, thing I really liked, loved the stunts. I don't know, I'd have to go back and look and see how many we've done, because it felt like for the longest time, we were like, hey, we got 4 dudes up front, we're just going to try and go against your 5 offensive linemen straight up. And I never understood it. Like the stunts for me make so much sense because now you're getting guys crisscrossing and now you have to rely on the offensive line to coordinate and pass off blocking assignments to one another. And that's where you can cause some really good confusion. And that's when you can generate some pressure. And you saw that multiple times throughout the game yesterday. You saw it when Quinnen was double teamed, defensive tackle on the other side, whips around Quinnen, comes up for a pressure sack. Love it. Love it. I'm actually pretty sure I have to look back at the punt block. I think Clemens was a similar situation with the stunt. Either way, loved the defensive line. On the offensive side, the offensive line 2 weeks in a row really showing out. Getting Dwayne Brown back, that guy pulling and having him on the outside on like run plays, incredible. The big guy can move. The big guy can move. This is the best left tackle play we've seen in a long time. Like, don't get me wrong, Becton was dominant in his rookie year, but I really, really like the stability of Dwayne Brown. I thought Tomlinson, McGovern, Herbig all had fine games. AVT, another good game from him. Breece Hall running wild on the Packers. Welcome to the NFL, kid. This guy has a legit shot to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I don't know if it's going to be close. This guy's got, 600 yards, all-purpose yards through this stretch of time in the season. I think they said the last time someone had this many yards was Curtis Martin back in 2004, wound up winning the rushing title, but he, obviously got fed the ball. Breece really didn't get fed the ball the first few games. I feel like this has really come on the last 2-3 games here, and this is something I really want to see. Wide receiver-wise, Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, quiet day. Quiet day overall. Corey Davis wound up leading the wide receivers. Braxton Berrios gets a end-around touchdown. I think I'm a little frustrated because of how much talent we have. I want to see us open the playbook up a little bit. But when you're running the ball the way you are and you're dominating the other team the way you're dominating them, why run the risk of having an errant throw that turns into a pick six or turns into an interception or something like that? Run the ball. Eat clock. End this game fast. People are upset. No, I shouldn't say upset. People are questioning Zach Wilson a little bit. They're saying, oh, well, he didn't have to do anything. Yeah, he didn't. I don't want him to have to do anything. When we drafted him, I want him to be lifted up by the rest of this team. That's exactly what Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas told him when we drafted him. Last year, he had to play hero ball, and we saw the ramifications of it. He was forcing passes. He wasn't, controlling his feet in the pocket. He was running around too much. Winds up getting hurt. No. Utilizing the running game is going to help you long term. You're going to have that play action pass. We got a few tough defenses coming up here in the next few weeks. Let Zach hand the ball off. Let's control it. I think Zach will start to hit his stride after the bye week. I really do. I'm not concerned about Zach. Then we have the Elijah Moore drama. If you didn't see this, let me see, do I still have it pulled up? I think I may have deleted it. Let's see. Yep, I did delete it. So Elijah Moore, Rich Cimini had sent a tweet out that said, most mind-boggling stat or most shocking stat is Elijah Moore has 0 targets. And Elijah Moore says, I don't want to seem like a selfish player or a me-first player, but I don't understand it either. He's frustrated. He says, I understand everyone's, we're winning, and that's, we're blessed. Thank you. But I don't want to say anything. Well, you just aired it out on Twitter, dude. The hell you doing? I feel like every time the Jets have something good going for them, they wind up having some sort of weird curveball like this. And I think it's just a young player. He sent something out. He was passionate. This guy wants to win. I saw another tweet from Rich Cimini today. Elijah Moore's getting open on non-targeted passes for him. So it's not like he's not doing his job. He's just not being fed the ball. Zach Wilson isn't looking his direction. I don't think it's necessarily on Zach so much as it is a comfort level with Corey Davis and then, LaFleur probably using Elijah Moore more as a decoy than anything else. Let the tight ends get involved. You look at the 49ers offense, aside from Deebo Samuel, there's not really a stud wide receiver. Like, when you look at them, you don't necessarily want to draft any of their guys because anyone could have a halfway decent game and anyone could not score any points. Over the last 3 weeks, since Zach Wilson has returned from injury, Garrett Wilson, 14 targets. Corey Davis, 13 targets. Elijah Moore, 6 targets. I don't think there's a real good excuse for that. I think Elijah Moore should see the ball more. More for more. I think it's important to realize there's guys that are going to have more successful games, might be better game planned for. Like Corey Davis, dude was wide open. They could have fed this dude the ball even more. The tight ends. Quarterback's best friend. The trouble we run into is we have too many weapons. And there's only one football. The average drive in the NFL on a touchdown drive, maybe 10 plays. 10 to 12 plays, a nice long drive. What do? Who are you passing the ball to? You're going to run it a bunch of times. Set yourself up for third and manageable. There are going to be situations where we are going to need to rely on Zach Wilson's arm. Yesterday and the game before, wasn't the case. Didn't have to do it. And that's what we want. That has been the winning formula for the Jets in the past. And I believe that is the winning formula for the Jets moving forward. If you ask me how I would love for this team to be structured and touches distributed, I want this to look very similar to those early 2000s Patriots teams when they had Tom Brady and they were trying to learn how to win with a young quarterback. They ran the ball and they played stout defense. They won 3 of 4 Super Bowls with that formula. Tom Brady was a system quarterback. And then he starts getting a little older, starts getting a little wiser, understanding the defenses. Then he starts slinging the rock all over the place. It's not bad. It's not bad to rely on a running game. It's not bad to have your defense resting. Like if you're going 4 and out or scoring touchdowns real quick, now don't get me wrong. I want to score touchdowns real fast. I'm not going to be upset with us bombing the ball to Elijah Moore or Corey Davis or whatever and scoring touchdowns real quick. But there's value in allowing your defense time to rest. And using the running game, running the clock, allows those guys a little bit more time, and it allows the offense on the other side of the field, the Packers, to kind of be out of rhythm. And while the Jets did not lead in time of possession, it felt like Rodgers was shaken all game long. He was getting banged up. He was getting smacked around. That's what I want to see. Today's beverage of choice, got some Equilibrium MC squared. Got a little bit of Michael Carter 1 and 2 in a can, right? Like I'm sure that's what that means. Brian Bogan comes in and says, Quinnen gave credit to the whole D. Love that kid. He did. If you guys saw the 5 takeaway video I had, that was one of the comments I made. He mentions unit, teamwork. He also mentions communication. Mentioned communication twice. I think that was not a unintentional wording. I think Quinnen understands, and this defense understands. DJ Reed came out a few weeks ago saying we need to simplify this defense. We need to get everyone on the same page. Communication is key. When these guys are all communicating and on the same page, I'd stack this defense up to anyone. I think this defense doesn't realize they were 32nd in the league last year. They threw up the stat with Robert Saleh. Last year, like 32 in points per game, 30, it was like 32, 31, 31, 30 or whatever. It was like awful stats for the defense. Now, like virtually everything top 10. Now, we haven't played a gauntlet of high power teams yet. I'm not going to pretend we have. But this defense, they're feeling themselves. This team in general is feeling themselves. And that's a testament to Robert Saleh and the culture they're building. Disregard Papa comes in and says, I hate how after this win, all the media talks about is how the Packers suck and all their holes and not how great the Jets played, how great Brees is. This is bulletin board material for our franchise. I said before this game, the Jets can win this game. The Jets should win this game. And you know what's going to happen? Oh, the Packers are coming back from London. Oh, Rodgers is banged up. Oh, Rodgers doesn't have Adams. His team's not right. They're not clicking. Nothing about the Jets. We're going to go into Denver next week. Oh, Russell Wilson's on short rest. Oh, he's not quite playing the way. He's still learning his team. Baloney. Jets aren't going to get any love. Then we're going to come into that October 30th game. Jets-Patriots at home. I'm going to be there. I'm excited. We're going to go into that home game, Jets-Pats, and we're going to punch them in the mouth. Jets going to win that game. We're about to go on a little bit of run here. It's going to happen. I could feel it. This team is not going to roll over. This team's not going to sleep on opponents. You're going to see this team fight. The way they fight in the fourth quarter is not like we have seen in a very, very long time. This team has a swagger about it. That is the influx of young talent. 7 top 36 picks in the last 2 years. And then you got guys on the back end playing well. Guys like Clemens, Mitchell prior to the injury. When you have contributors like that, you're going to do well. You're going to do well. Joe S. comes in and said, Jets would not have won last 3 games with Flacco. No, I completely agree. They would not. Now, I don't know if they necessarily win the Browns game with Zach Wilson. That was kind of a fluke. You can't really plan for 14 points in a minute 55 seconds. It's more of a luck thing. But could the Jets have beaten Baltimore week 1? I think if you take this team and you plop them down in week 1, the answer is yes. I think if you take this team and you plop them down for the Bengals, we win that game. I really do. I really do believe that. I think there's a swagger about this team. I think there's a confidence about this team. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more exciting things from here. All right, phone lines. We're going to open those up in just a second. I want to hear what you guys had to say. What do you think about Sauce Gardner and the cheese hat? Ugh, cheesy sauce. Absolutely love it. Love it. Team's got a swagger, boys and girls. All right. Let me open up the Google Voice. Let's see what we got. Where's my little... Boom. There we go. Phone number's on the screen. Call in. You get 3 minutes on the clock. After 3 minutes...
That's it! You're out of here!
That's right. Gonna boot you. Got my Broncos game going on over here. Trying to do a little bit of scouting for next week.
From
Eddie from North Carolina.
to accept.
Eddie from North Carolina, welcome to the call-in show.
Thank you, Ryan. First off, how are the girls?
Oh, they're fantastic. I just got a new iPad, and Becca learned how to color with the little stylus. She's having herself a ball, and Shay's watching all the colors light up. They're fantastic.
I hope their favorite color is green.
Oh, it better be. I might have to disown both of them if it's not. What's on your mind, brother?
So I live in North Carolina, and I'm a member of the Central North Carolina New York Jets fan club.
Love
It's
it.
based in Morrisville, North Carolina, which is right around near Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And we need more help at the bar now because the poor waitress is working the bar and the tables. And the past couple of weeks, we've had like 35, 40 people, up from like 5 to 7 in the past few years. It's crazy.
I love it.
It's pretty funny.
That is awesome. I want to see more and more Jet fans start coming out. It feels like the fair weather fans and some of the guys that have felt way too abused over the last few years of like losing, starting to trickle back into the fan base.
That's right. Anyway, my niece is getting married on the 29th. So I told you I'm going to be up there for the Patriots game.
Oh, yeah.
At MetLife.
I'm excited.
And,
I remember you telling me about it and being like, oh, you got to go to that game. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go. We'll see. Well, I'm going.
Well, I've been talking, I've been, super chatting and stuff with Jake Asman.
Yeah.
And I convinced him to go. And the funny thing is, if you saw his, like 2 weeks ago when he was up, he was doing his show from Newark Airport.
That's really cool.
Well,
I knew he was up. He was up for the Jets Media Day.
Well, I talked to him. I'm going to co-host with him because I'm flying back to Raleigh that night when he flies back to Houston.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
So that's going to be cool. Yeah, we're going to go to that stupid dim sum bar at Newark Airport. I don't know what the hell it is, but whatever.
It's all right. That'll be fun. Very cool.
Anyway, football. Before I get bounced by the chicken.
Let's go.
Quinnen was a beast. Sauce is the real deal. Brees was the number 2 rusher in the NFL this week, except for whatever happens tonight. Yeah. Shit, if Brees would have had 3 more yards, he'd have been the number 1 rusher this week.
Brees is something special. Like, I was not super thrilled going running back in the second round. I was totally wrong. This kid is an animal.
Yeah, you thought they were going to get the linebacker.
I thought for sure they were going to go Nakobe Dean. For sure, I thought.
I was watching the show while
You're out of here!
You've been ejected from the cockpit, Eddie. From North Carolina. I'll see you against the Pats at home October 30th. Let's see. I saw a few guys in here. Josh McMinn says, going to Jets Pats as well. Def want to slug a beer with you. Going to be an epic game. I'll let you guys know where I wind up. I actually don't know where the tickets are. I got to figure it out. My buddy got them. So I'm not sure. And Matthew Roman joins the channel again. Thank you, brother. Means a lot. We got another caller on the line. Who we got?
J-Boy.
J-Boy, what's up? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up, man?
Dude, I'm hanging in there.
Real quick, I just want to say, hell yeah, we got the W. For real.
Feels good, right? 3 in a row. When does that ever happen to us?
Not since I've been a fan, that's for sure. I came in around 2008 and rode those 2 high years, and it's been a while.
Dude, it's nice. It feels good when the Jets are winning and when the Giants are winning. Don't get me wrong. When the Jets and Giants are both going, New York is buzzing.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm out here in Kentucky, and I am like the only Jets fan that I know, around here at all. And when I found your show, you, Green Bean, and Matt, and I found that community, and feels good to win with this community.
Right? Oh, that feels good. I love hearing that. That's like the community that we have here on YouTube is just something special. I love seeing all the guys and all, like, I jump into all the other live streams that other guys do and seeing everyone come clicking through. I see all the names and it's just like, man, this is really cool. Everyone's talking.
Yeah, and man, Sauce is. I wanted Sauce at 4, and I erupted when they drafted him, and I'm erupting every time I see him do something.
Dude, I was so excited. I know Matt and Greavy liked Sauce the prospect, but just didn't think that was the right direction to go. But dude, I wanted him so bad, and when the Jets actually made it happen, stunned, absolutely stunned, over the moon.
Yeah, me too. And man, going into Denver, we got this.
I think so. I really do.
We got this.
I'm trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on, and
I'm about to put it on myself.
Yeah. You know what? We're not afraid to go on the road.
I looked at this schedule real deep today, and I see 11 or 12 wins with this team if they keep up this momentum.
It's scary, right? Like I want to look ahead, and I'm starting to. I'm looking at like all this games left and like how teams are playing currently and how the Jets could keep kind of stacking wins. I mean, you look at both Pats games, the Dolphins game, the Bronco game, the Jacksonville game, the Seattle game, the Lions game, the Bears game. Like that's 8 more like that are plausibly winnable games. Like I think we probably split with Miami and split with the Pats, but I mean, it's not unreasonable to think the Jets can't win those games. Or the Jets can win those games.
Something that a lot of Jets fans don't think when I think about it. Watching that defense yesterday and how they played against Miami, I say we beat the Bills at home.
Oh, man, would that be something special? If we go into Bills week at what are we? We're 4-2 right now. If we go in at 6-2 and then we beat up on the Bills, oh, man, first place in the AFC East? Don't get me hard, dude. Yep. Don't get me hard. Brother, I love you. Thank you so much for the call in. Crazy. Big old chubby. Trying not to look ahead, but I mean, I am. I can't help myself. It's way too exciting. Who we got?
From
Carson.
Carson, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
What's going on, Ryan? How we doing?
Dude, I'm hanging in there. How'd you feel after yesterday's win?
Let's be honest here. That probably was the best defensive performance we've seen from the Saleh Ulbrich regime so far. Am I understating that, or was a good defensive performance? What do you think?
I think it was a great defensive performance. I think 4 sacks. I think the secondary played well. You shut down a Hall of Fame quarterback. Quinnen absolutely going off is just something so special. That was your number 3 overall pick just a few years ago, and to see him hitting on all cylinders right now is really, really exciting.
It is very exciting, especially upcoming, because then we've been getting solid play out of Rankins. And if you really think about it at the end of the day, when Rankins comes off our books and Hall will eventually come off our books, I think he's going to get traded.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a contract that is really saturated. I mean, I see Quinnen getting probably about $24-25 million a year. He's not on Aaron Donald level, but he'll get that.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's making 31.6, like a monster contract. That was like a bananas deal.
He's worth it.
He is. I mean, the dude's been like an MVP, defensive MVP, like every single year that he's played. I think that you'll see, so that the next guys after 31.6 are 21, 21, and 20. I think Quinnen's going to get around 23 or so, and I think I would love to see the Jets extend him mid-season. I think that provides...
Like the JFM deal? Like the JFM deal when they signed him mid-season?
100%. I think it provides a boost of morale to this team that says, hey, look, we ball out, this team will pay us. And I think when you look at Quinnen, you're retaining homegrown talent. If there is any situation where Quinnen leaves this team, it's a goddamn travesty.
Right. So three things I want to talk about. Ready? Really quick. One, let the media keep thinking we're the same old Jets. I love hearing the excuses the media makes about how the Jets are just getting lucky in these games. I'm tired of hearing this bullshit. I really am. We actually, you can argue we're one of the most talented teams in the AFC. You can argue, and that's not my Jets bias. I think the Bills are really talented, but the Jets talent-wise, young talent specifically, I think we're one of the top in the AFC. Second thing, all of the Jets fans, and I hate calling out Jets fans, all of the Jets fans that said that Robert Saleh needs to get fired, Joe Douglas needs to get fired, after he made those keeping receipts comments, he's 4-1.
Yep.
He's shut people up. So listen, we have the right guys in place. And the third thing is, you made some comments in a video. I don't know if you put it out today or yesterday. You said that you didn't and you weren't impressed by the Zach Wilson game. In my examination of the game, he didn't do as bad as people thought. Now, obviously, the Corey Davis ball was bad, but the one to Garrett Wilson, he just threw behind him. And if we're running the ball, if we're running the rock like that, like LaFleur wants to do, what should we be complaining about? You know?
Well, that's just it. Like, I don't want to I'm not dissing Zach Wilson because of the way he performed. Like, I think there were plays like him sliding before the first down on the play we had the penalty. Like, at least it would have given us an opportunity had he gotten the first down. But I also don't want him to hurt himself. So like, it's this weird juggling act of like, he's making enough plays. He's making the passes to the tight ends, to Corey Davis when we need him to make them. Like, there's enough there.
Absolutely.
But then it's like, you know what? You're leaning on Breece Hall. You're leaning on your defense. And I'm okay with that. No problem whatsoever. Carson Davis. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Sky C says, "Hey, Ryan, I was pacing the house watching our Jets blow me away by their relentless spirit and total swagger of play. Our team is full of confidence, belief, and they seem to fear nobody. 6-2 is coming. This team is going to be really, really impressive to watch. I don't think this team is afraid of any opponent. I really don't. They don't think they should be underdogs against any team. When you're looking at the most talented teams in the AFC right now, you're saying Bills, Chiefs, they're the top two. They're top dogs, 100%. I think you're probably looking at the Chargers. And then outside of that, I think the Jets can hang with Baltimore. I think the Jets can hang with Cincinnati, even though we lost both those games. AFC South, not super concerned. Could I see us losing against some of those teams? Sure, absolutely. But I'm not super concerned about those. AFC West, I'm not super concerned about the Broncos. And the Raiders are not the team I thought they were going to be. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Blitzcrew says, "You think we trade Mims, Bryce Hall for late draft picks for safety, linebacker, offensive line draft picks?" I don't know. For me, I don't want to. I think there is too much value in having cheap players on multi-year deals. Next year, you want to trade Mims because he's going to walk? Totally fine with it. Next year, you want to trade Bryce Hall because you think he's going to walk? That's fine with me. While they're cheap and provide us solid depth, these guys have starting reps under their belts. I don't want to trade them. Offseason, slightly different story. Slightly different story. Edward Ziff says, "So Ryan, I'll be in section 103 end zone. I think I'm going to be in the 100s. I have no idea where these seats are. These are like a corporate business sort of ticket. So I think they're probably halfway decent. I hope." It's always good when you get tickets from work, right? All right. Who we got on the phones?
From
Lima Bean.
Lima Bean, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Oh, it feels so good to win, man. First thing I'd admit, you were right about Sauce, man. I didn't want him, but not because I didn't feel for him. It's just I was so sick of cornerbacks for such a long time.
Dude, this kid is legit. I'll be honest, he's playing better than I ever would have thought. Like, I knew he was going to be good. I didn't think he'd be this good.
Like D. Milliner and like whoever the other guy from 2000, like basically
Kyle Wilson. Like, how many bad
just,
corners did we have?
And then I saw Jeff Okuda, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, but then, you were right. And then I guess Breece Hall, man, he proved to be better than any linebacker right now because he's going to playmakers. They run the NFL. Like, that's why linebackers become free agents and they don't get paid and they have to go to other teams. And that's why we got C.J. Mosley originally. The Ravens didn't want to pay him. Like, there's a reason why we got to draft playmakers over things. Like, obviously they're important. They should be addressed. But, like, hey, Breece Hall was the right pick.
It was 100% the right pick. I was so totally wrong on that draft pick. And don't get me wrong, I wanted a running back in the draft. And I loved Nakobe Dean. Like, Nakobe Dean was one of my guys.
Run, man. I mean, Nakobe Dean fell because he was like, there's an injury situation.
There was an injury. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, first of all, like, the refs. Like, normally I don't like blaming the refs, but, man, like, that fell for some gatekeeping. Like, remember the ref who, like, put the flag in his pocket? He had it in his hand.
Oh, dude. Like, he was trying to pull it out, and he couldn't get it out of his pocket. And then they're just like, oh, what's and then he starts talking to the other ref, and they're going back and forth, and then the flag doesn't come out. It's like, dude, your first instinct was to pull the flag. Like, you're telling me after all.
I've never seen that before. Then also, like, the unsportsmanlike conduct by a coach or something for accidentally bumping it. Like, oh, my God. They tried really. The amount of flags that were picked up. Like in favor of Green Bay, they were like, we got to give our boys Green Bay a shot or something. That's what it felt like.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, like there's that, and then I saw Matt O'Leary's post game, man, and kind of baffles me how many Jets fans, like, he's trying to be happy about, like, they won, and somebody was like about Zach's performance. Some of them even mentioned Fields should have been picked. I was like, are you serious? Like, this is what's going on? Like,
that's ridiculous.
Like, I mean, ESPN has like a daily like segment of like why Fields is the answer in Chicago and we shouldn't give up on him. Like, you know what? I just wish they were covered the same. Like, I don't want to be one or the other, try to be biased, but like they're clearly covered differently and they're clearly viewed differently. It's just like he's a one-read quarterback that runs all the time. Like, let's just put that in perspective. Zach, yeah, listen, no one's trying to like sugarcoat his performance. He didn't do well, but he wasn't asked to do it. Like, he only had 10 passes in the second half, only 8 in the first half. Like Trevor Lawrence threw over 40 passes his last game, but only averaged 163 yards. That's just inefficient, and they lost. You know, we got to put this with context. I feel like so many Jets fans are missing, and it just feels like, you know what, they didn't want him when he was drafted, therefore they're just rooting for him to fail. And I don't get, like, he's supposed to be our guy. Like, get behind him. You know, like, I'm not.
Dude, it drives me bonkers when fans don't want their quarterback to do well because they got some sort of vendetta against him because we traded Sam Darnold. They didn't draft their guy in the draft.
Yeah, like, Fields, dude. Man, like, I don't get it.
Listen, you're out
ejected. Gone. Blitz crew comes in. Says, which game on the schedule do you think the Jets will go in as a favorite to win? If they keep playing the way they're playing, it might be a few. Let's see. Let me pull up the Jets schedule here. If the Jets can go in and beat the Broncos on the road this week, then I think the Jets come back and are favorites against the Patriots. I think that'll be the first game. Won't be favorites against the Bills. May not be favorites or might be a coin flip going into New England, assuming we win the first matchup. The Bears game, I think, will be favorites. That's a home game. Minnesota, I guess it depends how both teams do going out. Buffalo, I don't think so. Home for Detroit, I do think we could be favorites there. Home for Jacksonville, I think we could be favorites there. Seattle's a tough one to figure out. I think in Seattle, it's probably a coin flip game. And then at Miami, I would think Miami's probably going to be favored for that game. But it goes a long way from saying, man, the Jets weren't favored in any games to like, oh, we might be favored in a few games. J-Boy says, look at the JD pass, only getting picks for trades. Passed. Only getting picks for trades. Yeah, I like getting picks, but I'm almost at the point where we have so many good young players and we have all our draft picks for this year. I would rather trade players for a roll of the dice player at positions of need. Guys like offensive linemen, guys like safety, guys like linebacker that might provide us the opportunity to see them play this year without needing to draft a linebacker or safety and utilizing a higher pick. That's where I'd like to go. James Alba says, hey, Ryan, underrated stat for the Jets defense. 3 straight weeks now, we have forced a quarterback change. Trubisky to Pickett, Bridgewater to Thompson, Rodgers to Love. Can't remember another time that has happened. That's fascinating. I wouldn't have pieced that together. Now, the Trubisky-Pickett one wasn't so much. That felt more like it was going to happen at some point, and it was more of a slight towards the Jets because of, this is a fluff game. Let's throw him in there. Bridgewater, I think that was the scale sort of correcting itself from the whole Tua concussion protocol thing. And then Rodgers, that game was over. They're like, no reason to risk you. You're clearly not feeling 100%. It is kind of nice to see that. I'm not going to lie. Real nice. Who we got on the lines?
From
Joe.
Joe, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Dude, how was yesterday's game?
Exciting. Brees Hall, like I said last week, is a Tasmanian devil. Looks like he's going to be a second-team All-Pro the way he's playing. I'm not going to say first team because Barkley's playing pretty good. Well,
dude, I'm really, really looking forward to the rest of this year. This young class is incredible.
Yep. The only thing I'm a little disappointed in, Will LaFleur, and I think he called a great game, but I have to agree with you, man. They got to spread the ball more to their receivers. They can't use this 1950s style or 60s style of football and think they're going to get far in this day and age because they're not.
So I'm curious to see how it all plays out because the Jets proved, at least in the Browns game, that we have the weapons to get open and can move the ball down the field efficiently. And then since Zach came back, it feels like they're trying to slowly bring him along, like really feed Brees and try to let them lean on the running game. I don't think that's a bad decision, but I would like to see Elijah Moore get involved more frequently. I'd love to see us just throw a ton of points up on a team, like go into halftime with like a 21-10 lead, something like that.
You know what, Brian? Normally I would agree with that, but I tell you what, they got to make him sling the ball. I know they're trying to ease him on in, break him in little by little, not put a lot of pressure on him like last year, where he threw more interceptions. But he's got to get in a rhythm. He's got to start slinging that ball, man. Tom Brady, when he came, up, he was slinging the ball. Brett Favre was slinging the ball. And that's what he is. He's a bit of a gunslinger. He can't take away everything that, he was, in college. I understand you got to critique him, but they're going to make him pass more. I don't know if I agree with all the running game being used this much.
See, I think we played to our strength yesterday, and I think we played against the we didn't try to force the ball to the secondary because the Packers secondary is actually pretty good. And I think that's why that game plan was the way it was. As frustrating as it may have been for Elijah Moore and maybe some of the other wide receivers and the low stat line for Zach. But I think when you get into games where the secondary is not their strength, then you'll start seeing some of those passes that we want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I can go with that, but they got to start, airing it out, man. This is a league that's built on that. Look at the Chiefs. Look at the Bills. I mean, our defense saved us too. We had a great defense. That game,
100%.
But that being said, I'm very confident we're heading in the right direction.
Boom!
You're out of here!
I love it. He's not wrong. Who we got?
Call from
Kevin.
Kevin, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
What's going on? What a big win. We're all feeling good as Jet fans. Everyone let Brady Quinn know that we're not going to be 0-9 this year, all right? 4-2. We didn't need God to help us win.
Yep.
So let him know. Just a couple points I wanted to make. Listen, on the Rich Samini thing, I think Rich is just doing his job, reporting something about targets. I think it was Elijah Moore that kind of took that to the other level. But I
agree. He shouldn't have said anything at all. It's if your mother doesn't say it, my mother always told me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And him just internally thinking onto Twitter for everyone to read, it's like, dude, come on, we're winning.
I agree, and I think he's a young kid, and I think he'll learn from it, and I think he'll be just fine. Moving forward, though, I got to tell you, I think the AFC is wide open. You look at some of these teams not playing well, all across the NFL, by the way. Tampa, Pittsburgh's not playing well. New England's not playing well. Cincinnati's not playing well. Las Vegas is not playing well. I mean, I would argue there's only a handful of teams that are more talented than the Jets. I mean, I think that we could truly just keep playing this inspired, playing with this type of confidence, that they have an opportunity to continue to make a run and to continue to play like this. And it's such inspiring to see a team that said, oh, we're just going to play to get better. A team that's now, hey, we're in the playoff contention talk, right? We're going to go out there. We're going to go beat this Denver team next week, and we're going to go keep going. I mean, the one thing, obviously, I think as Jet fans we all need to look at is Zach Wilson. He's not – no one's going to say he's playing bad, right? But we're just waiting for that one breakout game, right? That one game where we see him and he's just slinging it all over the field, and it's not Breece Hall, it's not Michael Carter, it's not Sauce Gardner making the plays. It's our quarterback, Zach Wilson, because I think we're one confident quarterback away from being in the next couple of years a Super Bowl contending team, and I so hope that Zach's that player. I just he's going to have 16 games. I think the rule is once you see 20 games, you kind of know what you have, and so I'm really hoping. Before, let's say, Thanksgiving or December, Zach has that breakout game. Not just a quarter, like a full first to fourth quarter great game. And that's the one thing I want to see from Zach.
I want to see like a 3-touchdown, 300-yard game from Zach in the next like month and a half. That's what I want to see. I want to see him absolutely go off on a team and be the reason why we win. Like if we get into a shootout with Denver, like let's say, Russell Wilson's playing pretty well right now. If he winds up playing well against us, we're going to need Zach to start slinging the rock.
Absolutely. It's a quarterback-dominated league, and he's going to, listen. I agree with the run and quick passes, but eventually we drafted him at 2 to go be a superstar. So hope so. Let's go Jets, baby.
Completely agree, brother. Thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Boys and girls, you get 3 minutes to plead your case. Calling numbers on the screen after 3 minutes. You get the chicken. You're out of here! Who we got?
From
Zach.
Zach, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Ryan, oh my God. Have I been waiting to talk to you for the longest time.
Good stuff. How you feeling about the game yesterday?
I've been watching for almost a year now. And I just want to tell you before I even talk about the game and the Jets that I'm actually at Binghamton University, and hearing that you went to Binghamton too, it's like crazy that I've heard all these things.
I love it. Which you living on campus?
Yeah, sadly. Next year I'm moving off.
Which housing you in?
Dickinson. Gotta love it.
Ooh, Dickinson's at least new. When I went there, Dickinson was like old as rocks. I was in Hinman. Hinman got rebuilt after I left.
And last year it was terrible.
Mountain View is pretty nice.
Yeah, Mountain View's beautiful. But I want to talk about Elijah Moore because personally, I don't understand why Elijah Moore is not getting the reps at all. I felt as in training camp he was easily the number one.
Yep.
All the quarterbacks were showing that the share was going towards him and Tyler Conklin, and I just don't know where it all went wrong.
Yeah, I don't understand. Are we using him as a decoy right now? Like, why is he not getting looks? For me, he should at least be getting looks ahead of Corey Davis. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Corey Davis has played well, but like, I want to see the young guy get it. And now there's clearly frustration.
He really is, and it's scaring me because I mean, not only did this tweet come out, but earlier this month, something that I found is he wasn't following the Jets on Instagram at all like he used to, and at one point. I mean, right now he's not following anyone on Instagram, including the Jets. And at one point, he was only following the Saints.
Who is that?
The New Orleans Saints.
No. Who was following?
The New Orleans Saints on Instagram.
You're saying Elijah Moore was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
I don't like that either. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It does. I want him to be all about the Jets. I think he is. I really do. I think he's here to stay, but it's concerning to see him, chirping in the media.
Yeah, for sure. But big win for the Jets this week. I'm such a big fan up here. It's great seeing all the other green on campus.
You're right. There's so many Long Island guys up there. There's actually but the highest concentration of Jet fans I was ever around, because I'm not on Long Island. I'm on like the New Jersey side, and it's all Giant fans. Yeah. When I went up to Binghamton, amazing. All Jet fans.
Yeah, Tom and Marty's does a free keg if all the New York teams win, and this year actually all three teams have won 3 weeks in a row, and we've been getting free kegs back to back to back to back.
Do they still do the mug nights there?
Of course they do. You got to come for a night.
I got to get back up there. I don't know when alumni weekend is, but maybe I'll make a trip. It was so much fun. Tom and Marty's was our old stomping grounds. They're in Dillinger's. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You're out of here! You've been ejected from the cockpit. Who we got?
Call from
Hunter.
Hey, what's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's going on, Ryan?
Dude, I'm hanging in there. How'd you feel about yesterday's win?
Oh, dude, I feel great. I do have a question, though.
Shoot.
I noticed that Elijah Moore
Mm-hmm.
is, getting a little frustrated. We've got Garrett Wilson having
Mm-hmm.
some drops and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But is it a bad thing that our passing game is not where we thought it would be, but our running game is dominating and we're winning games? Because it feels a lot like the Mark Sanchez
Mm-hmm.
Jets, like the 09, 010, going to
I
AFC
think it's
championship games, ground and pound with a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I can understand the frustration from Elijah Moore because you draft all these stud players. Like you bring in Corey Davis, you give him a nice contract. You draft Elijah Moore just outside the first round. You get Garrett Wilson inside the top 10. And you're kind of looking at it and you're like, well, where's like all the passes? Like, why aren't we seeing like 30, 40 passes a game like we were seeing with Flacco? And I think the game plan is to allow Zach the opportunity to not take the shots by holding onto the ball too long, kind of really start feeling comfortable. Plus, when you're going against some tough pass defenses, it's all right to run the ball. I like this. I'm not upset with it. My only concern is that it might cause a little bit of a internal, I don't know, issue. Kind of like what we're seeing with Elijah Moore right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm totally cool seeing the Jets win. I started liking the Jets when I started following the Jets, really. Had some family members that were Jets fans when I was getting into football. It was, they're in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about how hard it was to be a Jets fan in this season. It's feeling a little easier, but going back
Everything's
to those
easier
days,
when
like,
you win.
The only problem that I see with it
Mm-hmm.
is, if Zach Wilson isn't bombing stuff, he's not having games like we were talking about, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, maybe
Sure.
against Denver.
I just want him to
Would
prove
that
by the
second
end of the
pick be
season that
worth it?
he's the guy. Like, that's all I need. I don't need him to go absolutely bonkers. Like, just take the step forward, win us games because of your arm and because of your legs. I don't need to go over the top. Not this year.
Yeah.
The
That's
most
fair.
important stat
I hope he's the guy.
is the win column.
I hope he's the guy.
I really do too.
I broke my curse,
Mhm.
I guess. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I got a Wilson jersey.
Ooh.
The last quarterback for the Jets I got, jersey-wise, was Mark Sanchez in his rookie year. So I got a Wilson jersey his rookie year. So I got fingers crossed. If it brings us 2 AFC Championship games,
Mm-hmm.
curse broken, I guess.
Dude, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen over a long duration of years. It's not just going to be a flash in the pan. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Oh, man. I love hearing people excited. How often do we get Victory Mondays? Usually we're bitching and moaning on here. Not today.
Call from
AbLab Studios.
Ablab, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Man, happy Victory Monday, man. Happy Victory Monday, Jets Nation. How you feeling, bro?
Dude, I'm feeling real good. It's nice to have a few victories, especially 3 in a row. When's the last time? I have no idea when the last time we had 3 meaningful games in a row.
Bro, I was telling Green Bean, this kind of takes that old mud bowl taste out of my mouth a little bit. God, that's how far back I go. But
Dude,
bro,
it feels...
listen, man.
Yeah?
I loved what our defense did. I think Brees Hall, obviously, everybody's been saying and stating the obvious. You know, we have a lot of promise on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. I think we're just waiting for Zach. And it's like, I feel like the play calling has to accommodate where he's at a little bit. And it feels like LaFleur a little bit was trying to, like, do a little bit too much in that first half. And it kind of hampered his rhythm. But we really need Zach to kind of, like, because Denver, that defense is real. And, you know, if they get this win tonight, you know, they're going to be playing with a big chip. You know, it's still Russell Wilson. And that defense is real. What's your thoughts about Zach, like, coming along? I know you said we want to see a 300-yard game with 3 touchdowns. Don't you think it should be against Denver?
I want it to happen against the Patriots, personally. But if you could do it against Denver, like Russell Wilson is still a top quarterback in this league, even though he's not playing like it right now. Like, the guy has won a Super Bowl, been in multiple.
Right.
That defense is tough. If the Jets can contain him and get the win in Denver, where we don't historically play well, it's going to go a long way.
Denver's coming. They're going to cue in on that run. They're going to try to make Zach beat them.
Sure.
So I'm just
That's what I would do.
This is the opportunity to quell all the stomach aches, whether it be Elijah Moore and our fan base waiting for Zach. I think this will be a good opportunity to get it. So I'm just hoping for that, and I'll see you October 30th. Hopefully, you'll let us know where you're gonna be at. I'm gonna be there.
I love it.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man, so I can hear that chicken get off. Kick people off. Happy Victory Monday, everybody.
Dude, thank you so much, Ablab. You have been ejected from the cockpit. I'll let you guys know where I wind up sitting, because it's still a surprise for me. I have no idea. I just know I'm going to be there. Who knows? I don't even know where I'm tailgating. Maybe I'll have like a community post day of once I figure out where I'm at. Hopefully I know where my seats are well before then. Green Bean, see you in the chat, dude. Excited to talk some ball with you tomorrow.
From
Vinny.
Hey, what's good, Vinny? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's good? The Jets are 4-2, and let's be honest, I can't wait to see the power rankings this week. We are so in the top 10.
Oh, right. We were. I think Pro Football Talk had us at 12 last week. So now, like, the Jets beat the Packers. We gotta be in the top 10. I think they had them at like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. The best part is, like I said, can someone please look up the Jets record for most consecutive games where the defense has forced a turnover? Because I don't know when this team is going to stop forcing turnovers.
I hope it never stops. The number one indication for victory is turnover differential. And the Jets haven't been turning over the ball, and they've been getting the ball back for their offense.
Oh, no, this is great. And, I don't care. I know the Broncos are playing good against the Chargers. We're probably going to go. This team has no fear. They're going to go into Denver and kick ass.
Dude, I'm hoping they have... I kind of hope Denver wins this in like a sloppy game. So that way they're not thinking about it. They're like, oh, it's just the Jets. Nothing's going to happen. And we catch him sleeping and hit him in the jaw.
Oh, no. I can't wait. I'm thinking about that. I'm going. I got a coworker of mine who hasn't been to a football game since 1988. I'm taking him to Jets Patriots.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. That stadium... if the Jets can capture a victory in Denver, is going to be the rowdiest stadium that we've seen in a long time.
Well, I want this game just because, Patriots fans right now have false hope because of Zappy, and I just want to just end it in the most brutally painful way possible.
I want to see Zappy have the same game against the Jets that Zach Wilson had against the Patriots week 1 last year. I want us to just be jumping routes. I want to have interception after interception. I want to make his life a living hell.
You know what the best part is about this Jets team is they haven't even hit their full potential. I mean, the passing game has imagine what the Jets are a playoff team right now. If the passing game gets going, we could be talking about the big dance.
Let's pump the brakes, Vinny. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think the Jets, talent-wise, can stack up against almost any team in the league right now. I think the Chiefs and the Bills are probably the two teams that are clearly way and above. And then anyone else, I think it's a coin flip or at least a conversation.
I agree. Like I said, the Jets, the thing that's holding the Jets probably going to hold the Jets back is their lack of experience. But let's be honest right now, there's not that many teams in the AFC that are better than the Jets.
It's true. When you look at it, the Jets are sitting in the first wild card. Kind of nice. It's only 6 games in, but it's still kind of nice.
Oh, definitely. Looks like I might be touching that tequila bottle after all.
I love it, brother. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Soy Class Act says, love Zach. Hope he's the one, but Lamar a Jet. Eyes. Interesting. I'll be honest. I don't want Lamar. I think he's an amazing quarterback. I'll keep drafting him on all my fantasy teams. But I want Zach to be the guy. If Zach completely implodes and looks absolutely god-awful and the wheels just come off the sides, then I think you might consider it. But dude, I think Lamar, if I were the Giants, I would throw the bag at Lamar. Whatever you can do to get him. 3 first-round picks, make it happen. I think the Giants are in a situation where Daniel Jones isn't the guy, and I think they're going to win enough games to knock themselves far enough out of contention for some of the top quarterbacks. So I don't want Lamar personally. Not that I necessarily want to see him on the Giants, but I think the Giants should go for him.
Mike the Barber.
Mike the Barber, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How'd you feel about yesterday's game?
Hey, I was just gonna say we gotta step it up on 3rd and down. We went 1 down conversion on 3rd down.
On the offensive side or on the defensive side?
Offense.
Yeah, look, we had some really nice plays there for a little bit the last few weeks where Zach was making plays on 3rd and 4th down. But I want to see the team actually, like, I want to get in 3rd and manageable. I want to see like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Like, that's where we got to be, and then the playbook completely opens up.
Yeah, what do you suggest, on the offense? What do you think we should do to really kind of get this kind of really snapping the next level?
Well, so I still want to run the ball. Like, I think every team should start with running the ball. And you try to eat clock, you try to go down the field, and it gives your defense a little bit more rest. It wears down the other team's defense because then you can start striking with the pass. And it opens up play action passes. And I think what you're going to see is as long as teams are favoring the receivers and they're not stacking the box with 8 people, once they start stacking the box, then you go over the top.
You throw it. Yeah, I'm with you. Couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
How good is Sauce? I think he looks like Deion Sanders.
Dude, he might be the best rookie right now. Like, I know Tariq Woolen has 4 interceptions, and like he's having a season. But like Sauce, I mean, it's impressive. He's worth every bit of that 4th overall pick.
Oh my God, he's got to be better than Ramsey.
I mean, I think he's already a top 10 corner in this league, and it's like. I want to see him go up against like the best of the best. Like I'm excited to see him.
Jamar Chase.
I love watching him go against Jamar. I want to see him. Who else we got on the docket? I want to see him against Diggs. That's going to be an interesting one. Diggs is the next big, like scary receiver. I feel like I know Judy, and like the Denver team's got some good wide receivers, but like
he's going to get hit, Russell Wilson, too quick.
I hope so. I hope we cause like a ton of pain.
I would be scared if I was a quarterback. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, pin our ears back and go after him.
4 stacks.
I want.
He wants to do that run around stuff with us.
Yeah, dude, just pop him. I want Quinnen Williams rushing up the middle, scaring him, getting him flushed, run out to the side, and then you get like, Lawson or Jermaine Johnson if he's back, or Curry, any of those guys, just pin their ears back and go after him. Make a tackle.
It's exciting, huh?
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's been a long time since I've been this excited to be a Jet fan. At least like in season.
Great. This might be better than the other 10-year team before.
I hope it's better than 2009, 2010. From your lips to God's ears, brother. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Mutt Viles, what's up, dude? I see you. Who we got? Who's calling in?
Call from
Rob.
Rob, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up, my brother from another mother? How you doing today?
Dude, I'm having a night. I'm walking on cloud 9. I'm walking into work. I'm strutting. Just you can't knock me down.
Let me just say this for all my Jets brothers that are listening to me right now. I've been a Jets fan since 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel that like every time the Jets, regardless of how Denver does against the Chargers today,
mm-hmm.
we probably will be favored. But you know better as well as I do, Ryan. Every
mm-hmm.
time the Jets have been favored in years past,
mm-hmm.
they've gone and they laid a massive egg.
I know. It scares me. I don't think the Jets, regardless of what happens today, I don't think the Jets are going to be favored in Denver. I think there's a possibility of being favored at home versus the Pats.
And my biggest fear, too, and for those of you that don't know, in the Jets' 52 years, the Jets have only beaten Denver twice in Denver. The last time the Jets beat the Denver Broncos was in October of 2010. So it's been 12 years since the Jets have beaten the Denver Broncos. And for those of you that, like I said, and Mile High is just a different animal. You have the fans, you have the weather, but the altitude is going to be insane. And so I'm very curious to see how the Jets play in Denver.
Yeah, like does this defensive line stay fresher because we've seen more of a rotation? I think that's going to be interesting to see. I think the wide receivers, like if you're running Elijah Moore down the field all the time, are you going to like wear his ass out? Like I don't know. I want to see. I think we have enough depth across the team that if guys need a rest or a break, I think we'll be able to do it. It's just I want to see us spread the ball around a little bit. Like I don't want to just see the run. I'd like to see a little bit of the arm of Zach Wilson.
Right, and you know what, Ryan? I'm just getting excited. I'm looking at these schedules now. Picture this, Ryan. Okay, I know, and maybe I'm looking a bit ahead, and maybe I'm just the Jets fan inside of me has we haven't felt happy for so long. So I just want to just bear with me here. Imagine the Jets beat the Broncos. They go in and they beat the Patriots, and then you have the 6-2 New York Jets playing the 7-1 Buffalo Bills for first place.
Dude, that would be incredible. And at that point, like. Look, I'm not expecting to win the division this year. Like that's not where my head's at. You know, if it happens, fucking amazing. Great. But I just want to hang with the Bills. Like I would just, if we don't get blown out this year, that's a huge step in the right direction. And if you can hang with a team like the Bills, that's impressive, especially for this young of a team. Like then you'll start seeing people start chirping about the Jets. Like a loss to the Bills, keeping it close is more valuable than the first 6 games that we've played this year.
Let me just say one last thing, Ryan, before I let you go. Let me just say the Jets might get the steal of the draft in Michael Clemens. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this guy.
Dude,
and
he's
I think
a stud.
that he is just probably the steal of this draft, and he plays hard. And I think, honestly, Ryan, I think that if he were to get a couple more snaps in the game, this guy legit might get Defensive Rookie of the Year if they were to play him more. I know they're playing like a rotation, and every DN plays like 60% of the snaps or something, but this guy is legit, and I absolutely love this guy.
This is easily the best draft I've ever seen as a Jet fan. Brother, you have been ejected from the cockpit. Who we got on the line?
From
Charles Gorman.
Charles Gorman, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Ryan. How are you, buddy?
Dude, I'm having a grand old time. 3 victory Mondays in a row. Psh, sign me up.
Yeah, we haven't had those in a long-ass time, dude.
Been a long time coming.
That Packer game was incredible. First time the Jets beat the Packers since 2006. First time the Jets beat Aaron Rodgers. Jets really dominated that game. Wasn't perfect, but they dominated, especially on defense.
Dude, if there was any time to have a defensive performance like that against one of the best quarterbacks of all time, it's nice to see it happen that way, because even a little banged up, Rodgers should be getting the ball out faster. He should be making correct decisions, and the Jets had him flustered.
Yeah. It really helped, but still we beat Rodgers. And even though his receivers weren't that good, Alan Lazard made some nice plays here now, but he did drop a few passes.
Dude, I thought the long pass to him on the sideline was going to get challenged. I thought the ball moved around a little bit. I didn't go back and watch it. I probably should have, but they only showed a quick replay. But the Packers rushed up to the line of scrimmage and snapped the ball. And I think that was on 3rd down, if I remember correctly. I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this might be a
pretty crazy throw from Aaron Rodgers.
It was a great throw, and it's a great catch if it was a catch. Don't get me wrong, but if you're talking about importance of play, that was a huge play that the Jets gave up that looked like it could have been a challengeable play. Maybe it was just too early in the game for them to want to risk a challenge, but I don't know. Lazard's pretty good, but you saw him get frustrated. He was pissed at Sauce with the cheesehead.
Oh, it is what it is. Players get salty from time to time, which pisses me off, but it is what it is.
Dude, I love the smack talk that Sauce talks. Like, you see Jamar Chase getting mad at him. You see, all the receivers that are going up against Sauce, they have an issue with him. And it's because he is getting in their head. He plays the same style of cornerback as, a Jalen Ramsey, as, a Sherman. You talk a bunch of shit and get in the other player's head.
Yeah, but Richard Sherman was kind of an asshole about it. There was a time where he called a receiver sorry. You don't do that shit.
Yeah, look, hey, you know what? Whatever you say between the hash marks stays on the field. I don't want to see Sauce be that guy in the media, but I like the swagger that he comes in with, and I like the excitement that he brings to the defense. I think him and Reed could be the best tandem of corners in the NFL.
I think they're the best tandem of corners we Jet fans have seen since Darrell Reeves and Cromartie.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And I was telling Richie today, Richie from Jets, I was saying I'm so pumped up this week.
Yeah.
I want to see, another Jet game, but this Friday is the release of Black Adam, and I'm going to see it.
Say that again?
This Friday is the United States release of Black Adam.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. It's going to be, that's The Rock, right?
The Rock, Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, yeah.
Dude, I love me some movies. I got to get me the AMC Movie Pass. I'm going on family leave in like 6 days, so I'm going to be full-time dad, like content creator until
problem,
March.
dude.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, take care of your family. Anyways, it was good talking with you, buddy.
Love it, dude. Thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. It's nice. I love how we go from Jeff Ulbrich needs to be fired to, oh man, this team's defense is scary.
From Chris from Florida.
Oh man, Chris from Florida, dude. How you doing?
Oh my God, Brian! 3 wins in a row! 3 wins in a row! 4-2, baby! J-E-T-S! Jets! Let's go!
Dude, dude, had me jumping up and down. Jumping up and down. I love it.
Brian, my nieces are screaming Jets all day! Let's go, man! This is the time!
Dude, this is the time. This is the new Jets swagger. This team doesn't realize they're supposed to be bad. This team doesn't realize they're not supposed to be winning games. 0-9, Brady Quinn. Eat a bag, my friend. Eat a bag.
Amen, man. All the haters. Stephen A. Smith, you don't know nothing. What can go wrong? Well, you are wrong. Yes, that's right, man. All gas, no brake. Love it, man. Salah's still keeping a cool head, keeping that firm mindset. You got to respect the way the coach's attitude is towards everything, towards his players, towards the media. Zach Wilson understanding that today wasn't a game that he needed to be involved in, just needed to have those moments when we asked him to. And you know what? I'm really hoping that the coaching staff does by just letting Elijah Moore know, hey, man, your time will come. We all knew this was going to be a hard defense. I looked at all the stats. I'm not a stats guy, but I looked at the defense of the Green Bay Packers, and I saw how they were in the passing game, and I was like, yo, this has got to be a run game. That's how the Giants won, and if we see the same type of defense that they're going to give us, we have to do the same thing, And we saw a little bits of the pass play. I wish they would stop going so far out with Elijah Moore as a decoy far out because I'm sorry, the guy just doesn't have the height for it. I know he's fast. I know he's quick and agile with his feet, but he's so much better as a screenplay or a slant route. Because if you're going to do something far and you're going to get Zach Wilson to throw that cannon, you've got to have either Corey Davis or Garrett Wilson. I really hope they fix up that kind of route for Elijah Moore, because then you're really going to see him carry the ball, man. Because that's his spotlight, man. He's the replacement of Jamison Crowder. Am I right?
Yeah, that's where I would like to see him play. They have him playing the outside all the time. We saw it last year too. Like they for some reason they don't like putting him into the slot, and maybe they're trying to play that Tyreek Hill kind of like burner down the field. Like I don't think you need to do that with him. I think if you want to say Corey Davis, hey, go deep. I think Corey Davis should be high pointing balls. Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore should be working in between the seams.
Absolutely. Both of those two players are agile. They're great. I know it's a little frustrating. And also,
boom! Chris from Florida, I love you, but you better check that from the cock.